One lap. That's all Denny Hamlin needed. One single lap to take the white flag at Kansas Speedway, hold off Tyler Reddick, and add win number 62 to his Hall of Fame resume. He had led 131 of 274 laps. He had executed a perfect pass with 3 laps to go. He was about to become a Cup Series winner again. And then, in turn 4, the absolute worst-case scenario unfolded. A car running dead last 6 laps down spun out and brought out the yellow flag. The win was gone. Overtime hit. Tyler Reddick took the trophy. And Denny Hamlin? He sat in his car, stared at the dashboard, and unloaded one of the most blistering post-race rants of his entire 20-year career. Today, we're breaking down exactly what happened, why NASCAR is now quietly defending the call, and the one detail buried in Hamlin's podcast that nobody's talking about. Let's be crystal clear about how dominant Denny Hamlin was on Sunday, the 19th of April, 2026, at Kansas Speedway. According to NASCAR.com's official race recap, Hamlin won Stage 1, dominantly leading 75 of 80 laps. He led a race-high 131 laps total. With 3 laps to go, race leader Tyler Reddick's 45 Toyota sputtered, basically running out of fuel. Reddick had to switch to pump 2 inches, his Camry. That mistake handed the lead right back to Hamlin. The 11 was in front. The white flag was seconds away. And, in Hamlin's own words on his Actions Detrimental podcast, quote, "Even when the 45 got around, action his reader, action detrimental, I felt pretty confident I was going to get back around him on the last lap if I hadn't already." Translation? Hamlin knew he had it. The race was his. He just had to drive one more lap. But that's exactly when everything fell apart. Cody Ware was running last. 6 laps down, multiple laps off the lead. According to NASCAR.com's report, Ware was on a set of tires that had already seen over 60 laps of racing. His team had left him out there to stretch fuel and tires to the absolute limit. And in turn 4, with 2 laps to go, those tires gave up. Ware spun. Smoke filled the corner. The yellow flag flew. And Denny Hamlin's victory evaporated in an instant. Now here's where Hamlin got brutally direct. Speaking to Jamie Little of Fox Sports right after the race, Hamlin said, and I quote, "It's Cody Ware. 6 laps down, wrecking. I don't know. Just add it all up." Then to Motor Racing Network, even more direct. Via Brett Winningham of Speedway Digest, Hamlin said, "I need Cody Ware running dead-ass last not to wreck." That's a 6-1. Time Cup winner publicly calling out a backmarker by name on national radio. But Hamlin wasn't done. He saved his real ammunition for Monday's podcast. On Monday's episode of Actions Detrimental, Hamlin shifted his target. Instead of blaming Ware directly, he turned the spotlight on Rick Ware Racing's strategy team. According to On3 and Yardbarker's reporting from the podcast, Hamlin said, quote, "The team put him in a no-win situation. 60-some laps? Nobody could go 60 laps. There'll be no air left in the tires because you can't go that long on tires. But they just left him out there and said, 'All right, we'll run 60 laps.' That's just not putting him into a position to succeed or, at least, do anything but cause trouble." Read that again. Hamlin is essentially accusing Cody Ware's own team of manufacturing a situation that disrupted the finish. He's saying the strategy was so reckless it was almost guaranteed to produce a caution at the worst possible moment for the leaders. And then came the line that made every NASCAR fan on social media stop scrolling. Hamlin said, "Man, it's so frustrating. I took this one a little tougher, just because it's like, I want to capitalize. I only got 50-some races left, and it's like, man, I want to get these wins when I should be winning. Catch that? 50-something races left." According to On3's reporting, Hamlin has now hinted that 2027 could be his final season. That's the layer most outlets aren't fully connecting. This isn't just about losing a race at Kansas. Hamlin is on a countdown clock. Every single missed opportunity from this point forward is a race he's never getting back. He's stuck at 61 career Cup wins. He needed Sunday to push that to 62. Instead, he watched Tyler Reddick, driver of the No. 45 owned by 23XI Racing, which Hamlin co-owns with Michael Jordan, drive past him for win number 5 of 2026. Reddick now leads the standings. Hamlin moved up to second, 105 points behind. So, in a strange twist, Hamlin's own race team won the race that was supposed to be his, and he still walked away furious. 2 days after Kansas, NASCAR went on the offensive, but not the way fans expected. On the 50th episode of NASCAR's official Hauler Talk podcast, Vice President of Race Communications Mike Ford and Senior Director Amanda Ellis broke down exactly how the sport handles lapped cars at race finishes. According to the official NASCAR.com transcript, Forde said, quote, "In so many words, it's, don't be part of this outcome. Be aware that there are leaders battling for the win here, so don't be part of the story." Forde confirmed NASCAR uses the blue flag to warn lapped cars, plus a Microsoft Teams chat system to communicate with teams during the race. Ellis added that the system was, quote, "used a couple of times this past weekend at Kansas, just to send a note. Friendly reminders that we're watching and what the expectation is." Translation? NASCAR was already messaging teams during the race, telling them to stay out of the way of the leaders. Forde even admitted on the podcast that race director Tim Berman sometimes gets on the public radio channel personally to tell drivers to mind their P's and Q's. All of those systems failed at Kansas. Now, here's the twist nobody saw coming. According to On3's reporting from April 21st, Hamlin actually admitted that NASCAR made the right call throwing the caution. Wait, what? After all that public anger? Yes. Hamlin explained on his podcast, quote, "When I went by him, there was still a lot of smoke to where I couldn't even see him. I didn't know whether he was going up the track, down the track. I didn't know. That's a safety admission. Hamlin couldn't see Ware through the smoke. He didn't know if Ware was about to roll back into the racing line. NASCAR had to throw the yellow. So the real frustration isn't with NASCAR's call, it's with the situation that forced the call to happen. And here's the second piece of brutal honesty Hamlin dropped. Talking about overtime, he admitted he made the wrong call lining up on the inside lane. According to NASCAR.com, Hamlin said, "I fell for the same move the 5 Larson got me a couple years ago when I was on the inside. I gotta learn from those mistakes." His own crew chief, Chris Gale, told NASCAR.com that the team leaves restart lane choice up to Hamlin every time. Hamlin picked the bottom. Larson took the top. Larson cleared him instantly. Hamlin made contact with his own teammate Christopher Bell on the backstretch, then hit the wall and fell to 4th. So, where does this leave the No. 11 team heading to Talladega this weekend? Hamlin admitted to On3, quote, "It's just not happening. The loose wheel at the end of Martinsville, just a lot of stuff that's just not going great in the luck category, or the create your own luck and not executing category, which is what I chalk most of this up to. That's a man who's holding himself accountable, but also clearly running out of patience. He's second in points, he's leading laps, he's putting cars in winning positions, but the wins keep slipping away. And NASCAR has now publicly confirmed they're going to keep using the same lapped car warning system at Talladega and beyond. So the question becomes, at what point does NASCAR move from friendly reminders to actual penalties for teams that leave drivers out on tires that can't make it to the finish? Forde hinted on Hauler Talk that NASCAR has called teams in for post-race discussions over what he called unintelligent strategy calls. Rick Ware Racing may be next. So here's where we land. Denny Hamlin had the Kansas race won. Cody Ware's worn-out tires took it from him. and a 6-1. Time Cup winner with maybe 50 races left in his career walked away furious at Cody Ware's team, at his own execution, and at the cruel reality that wins he should be getting are slipping through his fingers. The question for you is Denny Hamlin right to call out Rick Ware Racing's strategy, or is this just a bitter superstar making excuses for his own restart mistake? Drop your honest take in the comments. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to CNC. Hit that like button if you want more deep breakdowns like this one, and subscribe because Talladega is this Sunday. The big one is coming, and we're going to be all over what happens next. See you there.